down the hammer and pick up the pencil. You're about to listen to the Savvy Radio Show. Learn from real-life real estate investors, experience revealed with the Savvy Landlord as your host.
Oh, yes. You tuned in to the Savvy Radio Show. This is your friend, Steve VanCauwenbergh. And let's be friends. I know that I've been all over the place on the podcast, random. And I realized today, I was like, man, you know, I've only been interviewing people. My children has been on there. My wife is coming on tomorrow. Did my homeboy, Ethan, did Theron. Oh, and the Russian mob story is coming. I'm kind of keeping it keeping it, a nail biter, a cliffhanger in some worlds. Depends on how old you are. So anyway, today, in the daily grind in the Savvy Somebody headquarters, that's right, you tuned in to the SavvyRadioShow.com, and property manager says, hey, I need to talk to you about this. We got an email that these tenants have been dealing with one of the bedrooms. The AC duct doesn't seem to be working properly. And it's several $1,000s to fix some air duct. I'm like, okay. So she sends me the email from the tenant, and I looked them up. They seem to be a pretty decent tenant. They pay on time. Great. And so during the year, we got bids over the summer for $200 for $2Gs for an air duct. And I was like, no way, Jose. So of course my property management didn't even ask me. They just went and got $100 AC unit because it was a child's room. And now it's the winter in Oklahoma, and it's chilly willy, 38 degrees today. It's about to snow this weekend. And this tenant is dealing with this room that does not have an air duct that works properly. It's a central heat and air house, and the room is not getting efficient stuff, airflow. So the tenant bought a space heater to, the room, and there was a spark, a little mini fire. They send us a picture of a outlet that's all charred. So first of all, you could be real fast and dramatic. And, if you're a rookie property manager, oh, my house is going to burn down and I'm going to die and the world's going to end. And you are a slumlord, Steven, because you didn't get this fixed. So let's just set the record straight on how this happens and how to run your property professionally. First of all, let's digress on what actually happened. Well, most homes are rated at 15 amps to 20 amp per outlet. And so if you are a tenant, if you are a property manager and they show you this charred outlet, your first thing is it's our fault. Well, the reality is it's not our fault. It's the tenant's fault. Why? Maybe it was a faulty heater, or they overloaded the circuit. And that's the first thing. Education trumps all things. The more you know, the more you make. The less you know, the more you're going to pay. Because I know I'm not even like a handyman, or I'm the least technical person in the world, but I do understand electricity because it's a mathematical equation. I know that an outlet is an average of 15 amps to 20 amps. I know that a space heater down there under my desk is 1,500 watts, which equates to 15 amps. So if an average home is a 15 amp breaker to a 20 amp breaker, the heater should be running fine. If there's a dysfunction, a fire, a spark, it's because you overloaded the circuit, meaning you may have plugged in two 1,500 watt heaters, which equates to what? 3,000 watts, which equates to 30 amps. And you overload a circuit, and that's what happens. So, of course, the tenant would be all upset. It's our fault. The house is going to catch on fire, and we're going to go to hell because we forced you to have a space heater. So the property manager doing their job says, Steven, what are we going to do? Well, first of all, I educated the property manager to understand and digress or decipher what the tenant is saying, that we shouldn't be dramatic. What happened here? No, the first thing is I instructed her to hire a handyman or electrician to seek out and do a rating on that outlet. Make sure that that's a proper outlet and find the cause of the damage of that outlet that's charged. So that's the first thing. It's either short or they overloaded it. And of course, the tenant's never going to admit that they plugged in 3 heaters and 1 outlet, and that's what happened. So that's your first thing. The second thing is how in the world did you come up with $2,000 to fix a air duct? And so let's break down the air duct and how does that happen? Well, first of all, you have a blower motor, and then that blower motor is a furnace, and then that furnace lights up and it distributes cold or hot air through the home, which heats your home. And so there's a thing called air ducts. They're like giant fat tubes or giant stuffed animals wrapped in like, I don't know, silver paper, and it's going through that. Now, a big boy like myself, I can't go in the attic, but those things are held down with straps, and they're held down with zip ties. That's it. They're giant pillows that are in a big tube that you strap on to the thing called the plenum. So if you look at the total cost, a plenum is a variable of $300 to $400 for a new plenum. And the reason why there's a variable there, because every home is custom, and usually most plenums, isn't this fascinating that I even know this crap? And I'm not even a heat and air guy. But I know about money, and I know about saving money, and I hope that this episode will help you save money so you can get your business done. So, and the other cost is, what is the cost of the material for the air duct? Well, you can go to a heat and air supply store, and you can go to acwholesalers.com. They sell this product. I'm assuming that Home Depot and or Lowe's does. But this product is roughly $200 to $300 for ductwork. Now, I haven't done this in a long time. This is where the analytical mind comes in. So I know for sure that if the AC is not getting in the bedroom, the back bedroom for this poor child, it's probably some ductwork. And so the material is probably $200 to $300, maybe. Now, of course, I'm probably wrong, and everything trust but verify, because, I haven't done this in a long time, but I am being thrifty right now, and I'm in a transaction of growing savvy investors, and we're putting a ton of money into our online platform that's coming 2019. That's my little sidebar. But so let's just digress. So we got a bid this summer to change out that we have to have new air ducts, and it's going to cost $2,000. Now, so I was trying to teach this property manager, this is your job, and this is how you got to figure this out. You got to look at the material. The material is $200 or $300 for the ducts alone, and a brand new plenum is probably $345 plus labor. So how do you arrive to $2,000? Now, most investors that are in another planet or at another property or another state, and they're trusting their property manager says, hey, you need new ductwork. And most property managers most investors say, okay, $2,000 and move down the road. Well, this is how you can get it done cheaper. One, you can hire a typical, maybe you have a handyman, and have him assess the situation. That's the first thing that I would do. I would have this individual go in the attic and look around and see if they can find what's wrong with the ductwork. And that would probably cost about $100. An average handyman or a worker earns about $100 to $150 for a whole day's worth of work, which is about $24,000, which equates to under $30,000 a year if you have a full-time person or a random part-time handyman or just a maintenance person in general. So we know it's going to be $300 for material and about $150 in labor. That's the price that super apartment investors or savvy investors, and that's what you are today, a savvy investor, and that's the case. Now, number two, you might be able to pay $1,000. Now, $1,000, now that may be from a guy that has a heat and air license and they're trying to earn your business, but they're not in a full-blown company. See, the $2,000 price is a full-blown company. They have their truck is wrapped, they're driving around, they have more costs, thus they cost them more. So what you want to do is find the happy medium. You need to find an individual with a journeyman's license that is insured, and he has the ability. He's small enough. He goes up into the attic. He assesses the situation. He realizes that there'll be more business with the savvy investor, or AKA real estate investor, and realizes that, yep, you do need to change that supply line to the bedroom. It's going to cost you $300 in material. And wow, I'm going to charge $700 for my labor for one. Not even, it's going to take about 3 to 4 hours worth of work. So $1,000 is what I would like to pay or less in this situation. And then there's a company that charges $2,000. Now you got to keep in mind the person, the company, or the individual that you're going to pay between $600 to $1,000 for this job, they're trying to be the $2,000 company. So you're going to have to keep your spreadsheet CRM rolling, customer relations management, because these guys right now today may charge $1,000, but in the summer they may charge $2,000 because they're trying to be a big company and they're trying to get their truck wrapped and try to be super marketing wizards. They should hire Refuel Social Media to do their social media, which costs them blanket, blah, blah, blah. So, yep, that's it today. That's your tip on the Savvy Radio Show. If there's something that you have a question or something that you want to learn, simple as, how do I handle no AC in the back room? Hopefully this empowered you in some way. If there's something that you want to hear, let your boy know. Have a fabulous
Thanks
day.
for listening to the Savvy Radio Show. Glide online and listen to our other motivating episodes at savvyradioshow.com. Connect on Twitter at LandlordBook, and always be buying assets.